Hi, Scott Stork with Polaris Law Group here in St. Charles. I'm an estate planning attorney here. And one of the things that we see a lot of clients talk about coming in and what they are concerned about is what happens, what type of taxes is my family going to be responsible for when I pass away? So they come in really concerned about something we call the inheritance tax, the death tax, those types of things. Now, the first thing to know at the outset is that an inheritance tax is not something that most individuals are going to have to face. However, there are a number of people who will have that issue if they don't do proper estate planning. And so the inheritance tax is that every year Congress kind of sets in some way the amount and the size of an inheritance that a family can have or an individual can have that when they die is exempt from the estate tax. And so a lot of times we like to tell a story called the IRS supermarket. So what's that mean? Well, Congress gives something we call a coupon every year. So we call it the coupon amount. And the coupon amount just basically says in this year, if someone dies, they have or their family has a great big coupon that if their estate is less than that, then their estate will be exempt from estate tax. So what the IRS supermarket story is let's say I pass away, and now my family goes into the IRS supermarket, and they look and they're going up and down the shelves, right? And so they go up and down the aisle, and they pull my assets off the shelf, and they start filling up the shopping cart. And so my house, my retirement account, my life insurance, my investment accounts, everything I own goes into the shopping cart. And now let's say they're wheeling it up to the conveyor belt, and there is the checker, which is the IRS, and we start checking my assets through the conveyor belt, off the conveyor belt, into the cart that's set to go out into the parking lot. Now remember, I have a coupon, right, for me, and so right now the coupon amount that Congress gives to every individual is in excess of $12 million. Now, that's not always been that way. And as you might imagine, that changes depending on Congress. So we've seen the coupon amount go up and down for many years. We had a $1 million coupon amount at one point. We've had a $5 million coupon amount. We've had no coupon amount where there's been no estate tax. Right now, we happen to have a very large coupon amount of $12 million plus per individual. Now that coupon amount is going to automatically go away and go back down to the $5 million per person at the end of 2025. So if Congress does nothing, this big coupon amount goes away, but in this given year, that's my coupon amount. So we're checking everything through, and if I can get everything off the conveyor belt that's my property into the shopping cart and take that shopping cart out into the parking lot, everything in the parking lot is not subject to an estate tax. If I still have things that are left on the conveyor belt inside the supermarket, those are subject to the estate tax. And so Congress, basically, the IRS is basically telling us that if I've got more than the $12 million coupon, now whatever's left is subject to a tax. And that tax is just about 40% on whatever is still inside the supermarket. And so, as you might imagine, depending on how much is still in there, that's a pretty big check that my family has to write out of my estate to pay off that tax bill. So there are planning methods that allow us to deal with the IRS supermarket issue. There are ways to get things into the parking lot. There are other ways to get things to our spouse so that it avoids an estate tax on my death. Doesn't mean that we still won't have things that we have to deal with on the spouse's death. There are ways to do some different types of planning to deal with the estate tax, but if there's going to be assets left inside the supermarket, we have to figure out a way to deal with those, or we write the big check. So That's what an estate tax means. Again, most people don't have to worry about it. There are other taxes that they should be worried about, but the estate tax isn't always one of them. So if you are someone who might have an estate tax issue, if you're worried about estate taxes or other taxes or how those are going to be dealt with upon your death, please let us know. We work with clients in all sorts of ways, including ones that are concerned about the estate tax. So you can find us at polarisplans.com on the web. You can call us at 636-757-3850. Again, my name is Scott Stork with Polaris Law Group, estate planning attorney here in St. Charles. Please let us know if you'd like to schedule a consultation, and thank you for listening.